Good evening. Good evening, everyone. I forgot to add myself to the live stream, but here I am in all my glory, I guess, if it's glory or not. But yeah, interesting day today. We have, I don't know, not much went on. It was just kind of a dull day. It was very, let's say, low key. We all just kind of sat there. People just went about their business. The government passed a few laws. Kids went to school. Businesses are thriving. Yeah. Whoa, wake up. Wake up. Oh, whoa. Sorry, guys. Obviously, we've had a absolutely crazy day. All right. Tracy's online right now. Tracy, you're on early. You usually don't come on till I'm almost done. So welcome to the show. What can I say? Today was historical. The first time in United States history that a sitting president was impeached twice in the same term. Now, obviously, we know the outcome of the last one, went through the Senate trial. I think Mitt Romney voted for impeachment for one article or whatever, one of the two articles. And that was about it. But quick history lesson, when articles of impeachment are passed in the House with a simple majority, then it goes to a trial in the Senate. And the Senate can vote to remove the president after having that trial, but you would need 2/3 majority or 67. So in the current makeup of the U.S. Senate, they would need to have 67 votes to remove the president. There is no way 17 Republicans are going to jump ship. I could think of maybe 4. Romney, Collins, Murkowski, and there's one other one who's a never Trumper, who's never, I don't want to even say the wrong name or anything like that, but yeah, this is absolutely ridiculous. And of course, in the House of Representatives today, yeah, the only thing asked, all right, we got Clark Heller in the house. How you doing? And we got Dawn. Yeah, you watched a repeat in Congress, and this is where is that today? Yep, Donald Trump is close to filling out his impeachment punch card, so he'll get a free sub sandwich at some point. That was from the Babylon Bee. So I know you've got to laugh at this because it's so comical. What possible rhyme or reason could they have to impeach or remove a president 7 days before he leaves office anyway? Obviously, we speculated as to why. And now, what's his name? Mitch McConnell said today that, the trial probably won't happen until after Trump is gone. So it's not even going to do anything. And let's talk about the ethics, if anything, of removing or impeaching a president after they're out of office. And the only thing that would make sense, they'll strip him of his Secret Service detail and all that stuff, and his retirement, and all the benefits of being an ex-president. He'll get that stripped from him, but then it'll also prevent him from running for president again. But it's not harming President Trump at all. It's not harming President Trump at all because it's really harming these 75, 80 million supporters, give or take. God only knows how many votes they stole, that they destroyed and ripped up and did whatever with. But they're basically telling you that you can't vote for President Trump ever again. That's what they're telling you. Nothing else. That's it. And Mitch McConnell, is, for whatever reason, is into pissing contests. Mitch McConnell is probably blaming Trump for losing the Senate. Well, no, there's a lot of reasons. Yeah, some people, you can make the argument that he backed Mitch McConnell into a corner with that, saying he wants $2,000 instead of $600. But nonetheless, he was still out there fighting. And sorry, I got distracted by a text. My apologies. But I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I'm really perplexed to see what kind of comments you guys have here right now. Oh my God. Yeah, Mitch McConnell, LOL. They want to prevent him from running again. Yep, that's exactly. Time, money, and water. Biden should have showed up and tried to stop it. And this, Dawn, is brilliant. This is exactly what I've been saying today. Joe Biden had an opportunity to rise above and be presidential. He had an opportunity to do it. You know, first of all, his handlers wouldn't like it, but nonetheless, he had an opportunity to do it. Saying, this isn't good for the country. Stop it, Nancy. We're done. Let's move on. President's gone in 7 days. Let's just be done with it. But he didn't do it. He doubled down. So all that talk about, now it's time to bury the hatchet and let's all unite. We're Americans, and I'm not just the Democrats president. Everyone's president. All that is just utter political rhetoric, nothing more. You can tell that he doesn't believe a word he says. And now let's face it, he's tainted. But I like to always look for the silver lining. You mean ditch McConnell? Yeah, let's ditch McConnell. More like bitch McConnell, but that's a whole nother thing. But there was a absolute two people in the House of Representatives just gave me that tingle up my leg, and to say. And one of them, and I'm going to play the videos here. I'm going to share them. Let me share my screen. And make sure I share my audio. And I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to play this video. Bear with me a second.
Seems to me that impeachment is an itch that doesn't go away with just one scratch. It also seems that President Trump may be most likely to be impeached when he is correct. Before the last presidential impeachment, President Trump rightly pointed out the improper activities of the Biden crime family, and subsequently he's been proven right. And don't think for a moment, Madam Speaker, that we're going to drop that or stop our pursuit for the truth. Before that, we had the Russia hoax, where you had the president rightly making claims that Hillary Clinton and the DNC were colluding with Russians to disorient our democracy. How right he turned out to be. And then we have the 2020 presidential election, where the president correctly pointed out unconstitutional behavior, voting irregularities, concerns over tabulations, dead people voting, and now impeachment again. When they go low, we kick them. Eric Holder, former attorney general under Barack Obama, breaching the Capitol was as low can be. We all denounce it. But who is it that they're kicking? The president, who created soaring highs for our economy, rising wages before the pandemic, 400 miles of wall to stop the caravans, who drew down troops in the Middle East and showed empathy for the forgotten men and women of our country. It's why so many people love him so much, and it's why they're kicking all of us. This president has faced unprecedented hatred and resistance from big media, big tech, and big egos from congressional leaders on both sides of the aisle. Before the rioters tore through that glass, Speaker Pelosi stood at that rostrum and tore through the president's State of the Union speech, inciting anger, resentment, division. Some believe that truly these true colors are being shown now through this divisive partisan impeachment. The Speaker of the House, I would request an additional 40 seconds.
Go through the speaker, please.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Madam Speaker, I yield the gentleman additional 40 seconds.
The
40
4 seconds or 40 seconds?
Yep, 40 seconds.
45 seconds.
I thank the gentleman. The Speaker said to us just moments ago, words matter. But apparently those words don't matter when they're uttered by Democrats. When the gentlelady from Massachusetts calls for unrest in the streets, when the gentlelady from California brazenly brags that she called for people to get in the faces of those who serve and support the president. I denounced political violence from all ends of the spectrum, but make no mistake, the left in America has incited far more political violence than the right. For months, our cities burned, police stations burned, our businesses were shattered, and they said nothing. Or they cheerled for it, and they fundraised for it, and they allowed it to happen in the greatest country in the world. Now, some have cited the metaphor that the president lit the flame. Well, they lit actual flames, actual fires, and we
Time expired. There will be order in the House.
I yield back.
That was absolutely brilliant. Whoa, that scared me. I had a big loud noise. That was on the Blaze. I grabbed that feed from the Blaze TV, so check it out. But Gates from, oh gosh, where is he from? I gotta see he's from Florida. So make sure you support him. And I mean, I was impressed. That gave like I said, they said that I'm paraphrasing, Trump fanned the flames, but you had actual flames. It was absolutely brilliant. He took that knife and he twisted it, metaphorically, of course, but that's what we need, folks, is a silver lining. It makes me a little bit hopeful that we might be able to survive this monstrosity. Maybe I'm being too optimistic, but I'm telling you, I'm feeling something. It's in the air. I don't know what it is. No, I don't have a secret contact in military intelligence is telling me information or whatever, blah, blah, blah. All the rumors going on. I'll get to that. I'm just telling you, it's a gut feeling. Some people are on fire. He's fighting back, and that's what we need from these representatives. Now, before I get to my next video, there's one more representative that I want to talk about, but I wanted to talk about this. Let's see. Nope, that's not it. I'll come back to that. Where is it? Maybe I don't have it. Crud. There's, I believe there's eight representatives who actually voted for impeachment or for the articles of impeachment today in the House of Representatives. And that's a sad testament to the Democrats or to the I said Democrats, that was a Freudian slip, but to the Republicans that are in there right now. Let's think about that. This is basically a flippin' witch hunt there's no reason. I don't care what you think of the president. You could hate him, you could love him, or anything. According to the Electoral College and Constitution and everything else, he's gone in 7 days, for crying out loud. 7 days. This is absolutely ridiculous. But here's the representatives. There's 10 Republicans who voted to impeach. Gonzalez of Ohio, Meyer of Michigan, Upton of Michigan, Cheney of Wyoming, that's Dick Cheney's daughter, She's a Bushy. What do you expect? Katko of New York, Kinzinger of Illinois, Rice of South Carolina, Herrera Butler of Washington, Newhouse of Washington, and Valadao of California, which is interesting. Valadao is one of those new Republicans, I believe. Oh, yeah, I think he is one of those new Republicans, or she. But Herrera Butler, I mean, she looks like she hyphenates her name, so whatever. Anyway, that should say it all. But we're not having. There's no logic to this. But on the flip side, they're entitled to their opinion, and I will defend that. But I'm saying their logic is not sound. But notice the bigger picture. Not a single Democrat voted against the articles of impeachment. Not a one. So I guess they're not entitled to have their own opinion. So anyway, I'm going to play this. Let me get to your comments a little bit. I've been on the grounds of legally can't stand. Here's why. They say Trump's speech in the Capitol incited violence. Well, all this stuff gets ferreted out in the actual trial, and that's in the Senate phase. But yeah, absolutely, he was on fire. Love the pun. Yeah, Matt Gaetz. Trump managed to make our economy so strong that despite our country being shut down during a pandemic, businesses closing, food, people losing their jobs, and it still hasn't crashed. How's that possible? Because he left it up to the American people. Yeah, we need more young Republicans as well. Absolutely. But I'm still young. Nader, what the hell are you talking about? Yeah, Matt was incredible. Damn. Kendra, are you talking about my gorgeous hair? I know that's what you're talking about. It can't be about anything else because I just look sassy tonight. So, yeah, Maxine Waters. But now here's another silver lining, and this is something that gets me, like I said, it gives me hope. How many of you heard? She's about 5'0". She's a congresswoman from Georgia. She's been in office like 6-7 days. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Let me play this video for you. You got to hear what she said. And this is, Gaetz hooked them, and Taylor Greene cleaned them and fried them. Watch this. Let me share my screen. I know I got you all excited, and now I'm ready. Boom. Go here. And here. Whoop. Scratch that. I can't do this because I didn't turn on the sound. You got to hear it. You have to hear it. So let's try this again. Sorry, guys. It's live TV or live whatever this is, live casting. I've got to share my audio. And boom. Ready? Are you guys ready for it? I'm going to hit play. Here we go.
I am against the impeachment effort by the Democrats. President Trump has held over 600 rallies in the last 4 years. None of them included assaulting police, destroying businesses, or burning down cities. Democrats have spent all this time endorsing and enabling violent riots that left billions in property damage and 47 dead across the United States. Democrats' impeachment of President Trump today has now set the standard that they should be removed for their support of violence against the American people.
Amen.
Marjorie Taylor.
Okay, that was from Newsmax. So I'm giving credit is due. Go to Newsmax, the live cast or podcast, but they set the standard. So now we've got the standard to impeach some of these other folks or impeach Joe Biden or any of these people, because let's be absolutely real. This is what Joe Biden did last year. Nothing. And now, oh my God, this is violence. It's a threat. It must end now. Oh, by the way, I have to show you something. When I shared this post to Facebook, this is what Facebook did. Ta-da! False information. And what do the brilliantly smart fact checkers of Facebook say? They say that Biden has condemned protest-related violence from both left and the right. Yeah, the guy's been in office 40 some years. I'm sure he condemned it once or twice. But sorry, guys, he did not. He remained silent. I think eventually he finally said something, but this was after it was going on for literally months, people. This wasn't a new phenomena. So, phenomenon. Sorry, guys. It's been a long day. I'm fired up, but this is type of stuff that. So now after the impeachment hearings, everybody's wondering, where's Nancy Pelosi? I'm betting she probably has COVID. Oh, wait, here's a picture of her. Someone just sent me a picture of Nancy Pelosi. She was on her way to yet another impeachment. So she's getting ready for the third impeachment on Monday. All right. So here we go. Ding dong. Okay. Anyway, sorry guys. I'm in rare form tonight. I hope you guys can handle it. But I'm telling you, if we can get more of these reps, if we can light the fire under the butts, maybe we can get something moving here. So yep, she has tons of good points. The left will do what they can to silence her. Yes, they will. But something tells me she's not going to be silenced. She reminds me of I hate to use this analogy because she's actually quite attractive, but she reminds me of the small dog versus the big dog. The small dog has a much louder bark. I'm 5'8". I have a loud bark. So, hey, don't judge me by my size, though, because at any rate, but she's got the feistiness, and she'll grab onto the leg and not let go with her mouth, of course. But she's loud, she's outspoken, and she's got that Southern charm. She doesn't take crap from anybody. I love her. So she's awesome. Gates is awesome. I think Gates has been in there a while, but she's brand new. She's been in the office for like 7 days, people. That's it. Barely in office a week, and she's already being out there. Now, here in Wisconsin, I don't know how our whole congressional delegation voted. I'm pretty sure Fitz voted against, but I'm certain Brian Stile, I saw his letter, he voted against. So it's nice to see that. But overall, it's, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know anything right now, but and I keep saying, I don't know, because I don't know. It's just a crazy world out there right now. Yep. And this is it. Until the GOP gets rid of the old guard. That's why I have hope for the future. These are newbies that are coming in and they're making a name for themselves. And you know what? Though technically they are backbenchers, they're not going to sit on that back bench. Can you imagine somebody with the good looks, decent personality of someone like AOC, but with an actual brain and the ability to put more than 2 words together? Yeah, AOC is an empty-headed idiot. And you had people when she first came on the scene, they tried to embarrass her because she had that music video of her dancing on a rooftop, whatever. I thought it was fun. She wasn't, trying to be an actress or whatever. And she did her thing. That I have no problem with that. I didn't think it was anything embarrassing. Just like I wasn't embarrassed about Melania Trump having nude photos out there. She was a model. That was what she did for a living. They weren't raunchy photos by any stretch of the imagination. They were very tasteful, embracing the human body, which is a beautiful thing, versus making it into this raunchy, sexualized thing. So it's not So what people do in their past, I don't have an issue with that. But I'm kind of glad that AOC doesn't have her brain, because if she had a brain with her ideology, she'd be dangerous. But then again, if she had the brain, she probably wouldn't have that ideology in the first place. But that's a whole nother conversation. But anyway, I hold out hope for some of the Republicans. I hope they stay, and I hope they don't get jaded and tainted by the taste of power that being in Washington, D.C. gives you. Because those of you who would remember, Paul Ryan, some 25, 26 years ago, when he got into the House of Representatives, he was the same. He was young, energetic, feisty, was basically preaching Ayn Rand, that kind of thing. He was an Ayn Rand type of conservative, but then he got a taste on the government. He got to suckle on the government tit, or should I say teat? I don't know, whatever. Sorry, ladies, but he got to suckle on it for a bit, and then there was no turning back for him. He was addicted. All right. Thank you, Nick. That's not Nick. That's Mega. It's over there, and then Tracy. Biden would have to lose the plane. Oh my God. You guys are having fun in there. Oh, the entire Republican delegation voted against the impeachment. Yeah. But only 2 voted against, or voted to against the certifying of the election. So that was Fitzgerald and Tiffany, which was a pleasant surprise. Fitzgerald. Yeah, Dan Malloy, he said teat. Okay, the government teat. It's like, what is that? The mountain range. It's in Montana, the Grand Tetons, which is just basically French for big tits. Sorry. I'm in rare form today, but hey, we got to laugh because life is crazy right now. This is all crazy. So meanwhile, they're impeaching Donald Trump. Why? Because there was violence at the Capitol. But of course, I shared one of those pictures. But I've got so many memes today. The left. This is the left a few months ago on the left-hand side. They were burning stuff. They were breaking shit. They were hurting people and literally shooting people in the streets. It was horrible. And now they're like, oh my God. Yeah, that's just wonderful. But this is the type of stuff. They're so hypocritical. This is a great meme here. This is the Capitol in June. Please save me your outrage. I would have worded it differently. But these are the fires that are happening in the Capitol. Where's the fires from the other day? Something tells me that if the right were motivated to do something like start a revolution, so to speak, or an insurrection or whatever, I think they'd know it. That's why, but we have so much respect for our country's history and our country's, everything our country stands for. No true conservative likely went in there. Might have been 1 or 2 dumb ones, and that, there's dumb ones in every bunch. Believe me, because, and there's a lot of rumors going out there and stuff like that, which I'll get to later. But, the minute you don't agree with something, they paint you as something you're not. But it's weird. So, here's an interesting article from ABC and NBC News. And let me share this article here in secret. Okay, here we go. Extremists move to secret online channels to plan for inauguration day in DC. Like this is done on the 12th, like Parler and stuff like that, before Parler was taken down. And the whole article talks about this. So this is NBCnews.com. Check it out. But in there's a line that says, an NBC News review, however, found little concrete planning occurring online for these events. So they're contradicting their own headline right in the frickin' article. there is so much manipulation happening, and people don't see through it. Then we got this armed protests. This is ABC News. Armed protests being planned at all 50 state capitals. FBI bulletin says. I'm telling you, this is the left. This is Antifa. This is groups like that are trying to stoke the flames of revolution. And I would argue also the Democrat Party. And I'm telling you, part of the reason that this impeachment happened, now I'm going to tip my hand a little bit. I think this impeachment, the biggest reason this impeachment happened, because they knew it would piss people off. And if they get upset enough, everybody has a breaking point. So then they're trying to stoke the flames, hoping they get violent. And then what happens when they get violent? Then they have an excuse. So since President Trump didn't implement the Insurrection Act, Joe Biden will implement the Insurrection Act so they can take the reins of power and start to choke us. That's what they want to do. It's all part of their plan, I think. And I don't think that's conspiratorial. I think that's a fact. They've been wanting to silence the right for decades upon decades. You know, we recently had Robert Reich, the former Bill Clinton cabinet member, who basically said we need to have a Truth and Reconciliation Committee to basically interrogate Trump supporters, and they're responsible for all this. But the most brilliant thing I saw today was here, Candace Owens. 1 year later, the left has normalized shutting down businesses, shutting down churches, force masking citizens, censoring private citizens, and now world leaders are censoring other world leaders. This is not for your safety, you ignorant fools. Wake up before it's too late. That's Candace Owens today on Twitter. And it's true. This is all part of control. And this is what happened in 1930s Germany. This is exactly how it was a very peaceful transition to power. Came in with thunderous applause. But these armed protests they're a false flag. They're a complete false flag. And of course, you got the one person with the stupid Confederate flag. Sorry, I don't care if I offend people who like Confederate flags. I don't like it. They were an enemy of our country. They lost. Why would I fly their flag? Now, if you want to fly their flag in your yard, go do it. Put it on your pickup truck. I don't care. You do you. But any of your right to do it is protected speech. So I'll support that part of it, but that's as far as I go. Now, there was also a rumor that Chuck Norris was at the protests on the 6th. This is Chuck Norris. This is a photo. What they said was Chuck Norris, the guy on the right. That's not Chuck Norris. Yeah, Chuck Norris, he was at home in Texas. So no, Chuck Norris was not at the protest. If Chuck Norris were at the protest, he would have prevented everybody from entering into the building, because, Chuck Norris was actually in all 9 of the Star Wars movies. He was the Force. All right. Let's see. Go back to some of your comments. They can certainly try to silence us, but they will not silence me. Oh, yes. The PBS lawyer that just got fired said the kids need to be taken from Trump supporters. Anyone gets near my drone. Yeah, absolutely. There is not. The guy got fired because he got caught on video. But I'm a little mad at the Project Veritas folks. And I know they're doing a good thing, and I know this stuff takes time. But this video was from way before the election. Waiting till the day of the election to air the videos of the idiots in Georgia talking about cheating. Seriously. Yeah, Dan, that's exactly. We must, great minds think alike. But it is, and Ed too. Wow, all these great minds think alike. We are Borg. Hello, David. Welcome. But that, I'm telling you, they're trying to do this to have an excuse to come after people. Nothing more than all your rights are thrown out the window with the Insurrection Act. They suspended habeas corpus during the Civil War. You know, most would argue that it was necessary back then. But right now, it's just a power grab. Nothing more, a power grab. So we need to get our heads about us. So now moving on to the next subject. I'm going to talk about some of the rumors. Obviously, there's been a lot of rumors out there that it's been how would you say it? It's been a little frustrating because I think there's people out there playing games with people's emotions. The QAnon people and stuff like that. You got tons and tons of vloggers, and every one of them has a secret Pentagon source for this. And it's something big is going to happen any day now. And it's been any day now for the past, 2 months. Oh, and I guarantee Trump will be sworn in as president on the 20th. And now the latest one you're hearing is Trump will be sworn in on March the 4th because they're going to extend the date for inauguration and stuff like that. I'm not saying it's going to happen or not going to happen, but I'm saying right now, all indications is that it's not going to happen. I could be wrong. And I guess whether I support it or not would depend on the circumstances. But I think that we need to be careful because I think what's happening, and the thing I saw a meme today. Today is like Meme Wednesday. I have tons of memes today. Sorry, guys. But I know everybody wants to look at my wonderful face, but here's a meme from Malcolm X. And here it goes. Malcolm X warned us more than 50 years ago. This is the media, an irresponsible media. It will make the criminal look like he's the victim and make the victim look like he's the criminal. If you aren't careful, the media will have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing. Hello, Democrats. This sort of a propaganda tactic that I would call psychological warfare. Something tells me that some of those things that are coming out there with the president is going to sign the Insurrection Act and he put it in his desk for a couple days and now it's out there being initiated. And if it happens, I'll eat crow. I hope crow tastes like chicken. I would gladly eat crow. But I'm not seeing any indication that it worked. What I'm seeing is that the Trump team failed at messaging the evidence that they had about the cheating. And the evidence basically points to a lot of circumstances where cheating could happen and likely happen based on anomalies and statistical analysis and all this stuff. And obviously video of people rolling out a suitcase and stuff like that. But it's still very difficult to prove. But nonetheless, a lot of this stuff wouldn't have even been an issue if the Republicans had gotten their head out of their collective asses and fought some of these things back in 2018, at the end of 2018, when we saw all the things happening in California, how they were able to literally pick up every congressional seat in California. All these elections that were won on election night, and then suddenly, boom. Oh, here's some more ballots. Oh, they're all for Democrats. Go figure. We knew it was happening. And I'll call out literally the Wisconsin Republican Party that was completely inept and do a damn thing about it since 2018 when we had those mysterious 47,000 ballots come out in the city of Milwaukee, that was a precursor to what happened on election night this year. So they didn't do a thing about it back then. And then we had the spring election where we lost Dan Kelly, probably one of the best Supreme Court justices the Wisconsin Supreme Court ever had. And it was all because of the mail-in balloting and all the chaos with that. We needed to stop the mail-in balloting back then. And we have a Republican-controlled legislature that didn't do crap about it. They could have passed the legislation. Evers could have not signed it into law because he would have vetoed it. And you know damn well he would have vetoed it. And then we could have gone to the courts. And maybe this would all be a moot point because they wouldn't have been able to do what they had to do. Same thing with the incompetent legislature in Pennsylvania. Republican legislature actually signed many of the provisions of Act 77 into law. This was bipartisan. It was back in 2019, before COVID was even thought of. While the Chinese were still cooking it up in their labs in Wuhan or wherever it was. And to say nothing about what happened in Georgia. Talk about making a deal with the devil. Stacey Abrams says, oh, we don't want signature verification. And they're like, yes, ma'am, we'll do whatever you want. And these are Republicans. With Republicans like that, who needs Democrats? It's a huge thing. But anyway, back to these rumors about, the mysterious flights happening. And suddenly the lights went out in Pakistan a few nights ago. Then the lights went out in the Vatican, and the Pope was arrested. But they think, well, maybe he was arrested back in June. But we don't know for a fact. And because of a pedophilia ring or something like that, which I don't know what a pedophilia ring has to do with election fraud. I didn't say it. To you Facebook people, I didn't say the F word. Sorry, I caught myself. Election abnormalities. So we're hearing about all this and how the Italian government is involved and stuff like that. And then, so I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah. And Elvis, I posted something that someone gave me that Elvis is going to be delivering 2 songs at the inauguration and stuff like that. And I think there's going to be fluffy unicorns everywhere and everything else. And I'm not buying it. And then all of a sudden, this today, Italy, their government fell apart today. Italy has a very unstable government to begin with. They're calling no confidence votes all the time there. They have a new government like every year and a half, 2 years. That's how they roll. This is nothing out of the ordinary. However, I do find the timing rather intriguing. But this is in Italy's former Premier Matteo Renzi pulled his small party out of the government Wednesday, stripping the ruling coalition of its parliamentary majority and triggering political chaos, even as the nation battles the resurging COVID-19. And then, they're fighting amongst themselves and stuff like that. Then they call to election. That's how a parliamentary system works. Sometimes it makes you wonder, yeah, maybe we can call for no confidence in Joe Biden. Because right now, literally, the only way we can remove a president is actually through impeachment. That's it. There's no recall, nothing that the people can do. And that type of thing. So, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. All I can say is we're going to know on January 20th. All indications are it's going to be Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, the ultimate female role model, because she proved if you hit yourself to the correct phallus that you can actually do very well for yourself out there. I guess that would be a logical fallacy. Hammer scorecard to win. Yeah, and there's questions about the 2012 election, but let's face it, Mitt Romney was not anyone to excite anybody, and I find it so absolutely telling. And Don, yeah, they did drop the ball. The Republicans did drop the ball in the election, and mind you, guys, I start seeing these text messages. Sometimes they're a couple minutes behind, so I'm sorry if I don't respond to them at all. But they dropped the ball. But you know who? I mean, President Trump dropped the ball. He complained about it a lot, but he really didn't do anything about it. So I get that. I'll give him some fault in that. But he did get the job done. He gained, 11, 12, 13 million votes that we know of so far? He did his job. He really busted through a lot of different demographics and got a crap ton of additional votes. That's huge. So he did his job in that respect. But in the end, the Democrats had exactly what they needed to win. Just what they needed. Kind of interesting how that works, right? And anybody who says there's no evidence of election abnormalities, because I can't dare say the F word, is delusional. There's evidence. There might not be ironclad proof, but sometimes circumstantial evidence is more than enough to convict someone of murder. So why can't it be enough to convict someone of committing not good election stuff? Because I can't say that F word. So anyway, just be careful when listening to some of this rhetoric, and make sure, don't buy into the, oh yeah, everybody's going to go to the Capitol. We're all going to show up armed protests and stuff like that. Don't do it. Don't give in. It's a trap. It's a complete trap. Yep. And that's it. Megas is saying he may have actually flipped California. Yeah, he may have actually flipped California. And that's what's so crappy about all this. This is why people are pissed off. And I get it. Emotions are high, but temper it with common sense. Because otherwise, we're going to have the brown shirts. Because, of course, they want to ban police. The Democrats want to ban police. Why? It's not that they don't want law enforcement, but they want a national police force. I guarantee that's the next step. A national United States police force. Basically have the military housing on our own soil. That's effectively what it's going to be. And they're going to use the Insurrection Act to do it. So President Trump, if you had something, shame on you for not using the Insurrection Act. Because you know darn well that the Democrats are going to use it. And I guarantee it'll probably be signed by the morning of the 21st. Because they're going to try to create an excuse to do it. So, and I don't know, and I'm struggling with this because I love the things President Trump has done. Obviously, he had his flaws as well as any other, they all do. But he gave up. If this is the case, I think he gave up on us. But on the flip side, can you blame the guy? Everything that he's endured since the minute he came down the damn escalator. It's awful to say it, but maybe he finally hit his breaking point. Day in and day out, constantly fighting for 5 years straight. And remember, he's 76, 77 years old, so he's not a spring chicken. He thrives on very little sleep, but he's also got to recognize that he hasn't. So if he did give up, I don't know. I just don't know. I've been saying I don't know a lot today, but it's kind of an emotional thing. But but I hope we've got a few more days here. Yeah, maybe something will happen. A miracle will happen. But honestly, I don't I don't know. I'm just not. I'd rather be proven wrong. I want to say that nothing's going to happen. Joe Biden will be president on the 20th. I want to be proved wrong. I have not wanted to be so wrong in my life. So let's have a little bit of fun with memes. And let's see, what do I have here? Oh, yeah. Washington Post Robinson. Trump supporters need to be deprogrammed. This is what's happening here, guys. So for those of you in Georgia who decided not to go vote, this is what we're in for. Granted, they're probably extreme. I don't think Joe Biden is an extremist. But I think Joe Biden is a puppet of the extremists. He doesn't have a full deck. He's going to do everything he's told to do. And if he doesn't, they'll replace him with Kamala Harris in a heartbeat. The big hypocrites. Remember this, Jim? When rioters were doing this, the Democrats got on their knee, remember? They didn't condemn it. Yeah, I'm in a feisty mood. And of course, we got this to look forward to. What did his mom say to him when he went when he was on his way to jail? Bye, son. So yeah, he got arrested. What a moron. If you're going to do something illegal, you don't want people to be able to easily identify you. But those of you who are excited about 2021, this meme says it all. 2020, boing, and right into 2020 from 2021, from one burning building into another. But bing, bing. All right. Let's see what else. What else do I have for you? Do I have any other gems for you? Not today. We got some wisdom of George Carlin. Political correctness. Let's try it again. Political correctness is fascism pretending to be manners. Yep. Actually, I think he said disguised as manners, but I think this meme is incorrect. And this too, George Carlin, rest his soul. But sooner or later, the people of this country are going to find out that the government doesn't give a fuck about them. Government doesn't care about you. All they are interested in is keeping and expanding their power. He's absolutely right. Absolutely right. And honestly, it doesn't matter what party you're in. And that begs the question. I heard a little bit of Mark Belling, and I've been thinking about this myself. I keep saying these Republican leaders throughout the country and in individual states, I've been arguing with the Republican leaders in Wisconsin. You know, Andrew Hitt, nice guy, but he's in way over his head. I'd like to work with the guy. He seems like he might be willing to listen. But you have Robin Voss and these people, they don't understand. This isn't the Libertarian Party, which siphons off 5% of votes. And a reminder to you libertarians, assuming that the numbers are actually real numbers and Joe Biden did get 80 million votes, you are going to get zero done in the next 4 years, an incredible harm to this country for the next 4 years because of your insolence and ignorance. Because you didn't like Donald Trump's mannerism. You didn't like that he sent out tweets. You didn't like that he was a loudmouth. He said bullshit in a speech. Oh my goodness, it's so offensive. I mean, this is, I'm sorry, you libertarians, you caused this. You own this. But I also do have to cut you a little slack because honestly, I don't think Joe Biden got 80 million votes because chances are even if you guys all voted for Donald Trump, Joe Biden would have still beaten Donald Trump because they would have had just enough votes to beat him, because that's how it works. So I'm going off on a tangent, but okay, so that's 5%. You know, many years ago, you had a guy by the name of Ross Perot who ran as a third-party candidate. The guy had billions of dollars, and he had a feisty little personality. He was, 5'2", and he liked to talk about that, the giant sucking sound, and he was talking about NAFTA long before Trump ever picked it up. And he did some harm to George H.W. Bush, although I think H.W. Bush did harm to himself. And of course, there was the indictment of Cap Weinberger the Friday before the election, which led to Bill Clinton ultimately winning and stuff like that. He didn't win any Perot didn't win any electoral votes. He got second place in one or two states. The weird part about that election, he actually dropped out because they were threatening his family or whatever. That was his excuse. And then he got back in again. I'm not running. Okay, I'm going to run again or whatever. You know, so that had he not done that, it would have been historically would have been much different. I think he would have picked up some electoral college votes, and I don't think anybody would have gotten to 270 and the vote would have gone to Congress, which ultimately would have been Bill Clinton anyway. So either way, Bill Clinton was going to win. But people seem to forget the Republican Party was a third party. I think at one point the Democrat Party was a third party as well. But nonetheless, there have been some successful third party movements out here, or enough of a third party movement to cause a lot of a headache to the party they're going against. So let's assume Trump lost 10% of his supporters. So what's 10% of, we'll use the official number, even though I think it was higher, but we'll use the official number of 7.5 million, 7.4 million. We'll just say 7.5 now. Nice round number. So I'm sorry, 7.5, 75 million. We use 75 million. 7.5. So he still has 68 million supporters. And it's doing it off the top of my head. 68 million people in this country, which is typically a number to win an election with. Remember, Donald Trump won with a lot less than 68 million. I think it was like 61 million or something like that. Still more than enough to win a normal election. More than enough. Can you imagine those 6.8 or 68 million people telling the Republican Party to fuck off? Yes, I'm saying it. I said the F word. But telling them to go pound sand. Running as a third party. Those Republican leaders, and you too, Mitch McConnell, I've cut you some slack because you did some pretty good things regarding the courts. But in the end, you're still a political hack. You better not walk away from the Trump agenda, because the Trump agenda is the American agenda. It's what people wanted. American heritage, America's greatness, getting out there, not selling our souls to the global empire. And I don't think President Trump's popularity has fallen by 10%. There's a poll out there or something, he's like 35%, but he's never been over 50% on that poll. It was at like 48%, I think, at its highest or whatever. Nonetheless, there's no way in hell that he lost that much support. I don't think so. Because his support was significant. Yes, did he lose support? Absolutely. I guarantee there's some people out there who voted for him because they couldn't stand Kamala Harris. They think he's a butthead and he cost the Georgia election and now the Democrats are going to get everything. And, you know, maybe he did. But I don't think so. I think those elections were lost long before President Trump said, Mitch McConnell, you got to give the people $2,000. that election was lost back when Perdue and Loeffler didn't set foot in the inner city of Atlanta. And I'm assuming the numbers are accurate. I doubt it, based on the fact they're using the same rigged election that they used on November 3rd. But yeah, how do you win by 88 million votes on election day and then suddenly lose to the loser candidate, Purdue? They didn't do crap. They got outworked by Stacey frickin' Abrams. She may be a liar. She may be delusional. And remember, the Democrats are saying President Trump should have conceded. That woman didn't concede. She still hasn't conceded her election a few years ago. She has yet to concede. She's always saying it was stolen from me. Always. I think she's wrong, but you never know. But nonetheless, she works her butt off. I got to use a different analogy. She's still got quite a butt, but she works hard. I'm going to give the devil her due. They got outworked in Georgia. No question about it. And there's a lot of people get it. People seem to forget that the people that supported Donald Trump, not all of them are Republicans. A lot of them are the so-called Reagan Democrats. I said that on election night in 2016. I said the Reagan Democrats have come home, and they stayed. In fact, we got more of them. And then we got more of the black vote, and we got a huge chunk of the Hispanic vote, including and especially like the Cuban, Puerto Rican type voters and stuff like that. He did increase in Mexican voters and stuff. So he's done. So yeah, Georgia was stolen, but nonetheless, it shouldn't have even been close. And the fact that Stacey Abrams was able to get it close, it was only a matter of time. So I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Someone's saying I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Well, that's all right. Some moron out there was comparing me to Antifa. Oh, I gotta find this, Jim. Hold on a second. I've got a stalker who's apparently obsessed with me for whatever reason. And guys, if you send me something in private message and I don't get to it right away, and I post something that might be similar, I don't have just one source sending me stuff. I've got hundreds of sources sending me stuff. So, get off your high horse, otherwise don't send me stuff. I'll get to it when I get to it. Yeah. So this guy, I don't even know who he really is and stuff like that, but I gotta see if I can find this picture. It's quite humorous. But, so someone sent me some information on, what was it? Oh, it was a video from what's his name? Glenn Beck posted a video. And I think this might be it. I hope it's not a naked picture. Nope, it's not that. But Glenn Beck posted a video, and it was about, I don't know, 12, 15 minutes long and stuff like that. And I have a life. I didn't get a chance to look at it. And I looked at it and I was like, I can't get a chance to look at it. I got like 2 minutes of it, but I'm not going to post something on my social media unless I've actually seen it and know what it's all about. And I'm checking it out. No, I can't find it. But anyway, this guy took my face and put it on top of there was a, whatchamacallit, Antifa protest. He put my face on one of the protesters. And it was just, it was silly. I thought, I chuckled at it. It was funny. It was creative. But, because I didn't drink the Kool-Aid. Stuff like that. I mean, none of this stuff has come true. That's my problem with it. I hope it does come true, but it hasn't come true. So, holy cow, I've got all these comments. Let me go through. I'm not sure what your question is. Jay Schrader is asking, what is the Trump agenda in Wisconsin? I love how parents say Antifa. Thanks a lot, Bill. Antifa. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, who knows? But at this point, I don't think Kennedy was assassinated by a lone gunman. Call me conspiracy theory, call me tinfoil hat. I don't buy it. After seeing what the government was capable of the past few years, to destroy one man, and all he did was go against the grain. He outed them, made them work. He made them look bad. Trump got more done in reality. He got more done in his first couple of years as president than most presidents get done in 2 terms. Tax cuts. So some people, of course, in Wisconsin, in the first district of Wisconsin, that was Paul Ryan's tax cut plan. No, it wasn't. President Trump drove it. Paul Ryan had no choice but to push it through because of the fact that he knew he would lose faith. He's already lost faith with his people. He had to push that through because he's been talking about taxes for 2 decades. So we got the tax cuts. We got removal of all those Obama regulations that he forced through on executive order, and I'm sure those are coming back now. So our economy is going to be kneecapped, which it baffles me why they're going to do it. Of course, after that, we still got, when Nancy Pelosi was in power, we still got the NAFTA replacement, whatever, USMCA, whatever that was. And then we got, so he kept a lot of his promises, moving the embassy to Jerusalem. All these peace treaties, these are huge peace treaties. When you get military, you get Muslim nations actually recognizing Israel. That's a huge deal. So he was, overall, it's a success. I would not call it. You were chatting all by yourself on my other stream. I have another stream. I knew I had multiple personalities. Yeah, gold standard coming back, not going to happen. I don't think so. It's just like I would love to have a constitutional convention. Not going to happen. What else would I love? I would love to have term limits. Not going to happen. I think we need to focus on what we can fight. And what we need to do is start recruiting candidates at the local level. Local races. If you live in West Dallas, Carolina Dietrich is running for school board there. So check her out. She's on my thread here. This is Carolina. So check her out. She's running for school board. You also have a young lady running for a trustee in West Milwaukee. She's not officially announced yet. Oh, actually, she's on the ballot. And it's so we got some of these young candidates running and putting themselves out there. Well, we got to get more people to put yourselves out there because that's how they've been able to do it. The left has infiltrated everything and actually indoctrinated everything. So anyway, those of you at West Milwaukee, you can vote for Adriana Lamack. So she's running. I don't know if anyone else. Well, we do have a state Senate race coming up. We do have a committed conservative running, Dan Pridemar. He's a former assembly rep, and he was pretty good as that. He ran for. He's a perpetual candidate lately. He's running all the time, but he's running for Fitzgerald's old seat because Fitzgerald's in the Congress, and so far, he's 2 for 2. I'll give Fitzgerald credit, and those of you who know, I ended up not voting for him in the primary, but I did vote for him in the general election. Everybody knows, and I had Clifton Temple on my show. A lot of people liked him. Anybody who knows him, so I hope he's not done running yet. I hope he'll run for something else. But that's all I have for you guys tonight. I think it's important that you guys keep the faith out there. I will say the one thing that I said on election night in November of 2000, I went to the victory party. It was over at the the Bavarian Inn up in like Whitefish Bay there and stuff like that. So I went to the victory party. And at that point, they had already called Florida for Al Gore. And then those of you who have read about or remember the 2000 election, ultimately Bush ended up winning Florida, which ultimately gave him the presidency, and the rest is history. So, yeah, was Bush perfect? No, he did a couple good things, but he also did some stupid crap like making a deal with the devil himself, Ted Kennedy, with the No Child Left Behind school thing, and that was absolutely horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. That was a Ted Kennedy creation, and Bush went along with it. But anyway, but that was also one of those situations where it was 50-50 in the Senate. Very hard to get stuff done because at that point we still had filibuster for everything. No cloture rules. I mean, we had full cloture rules. Now there's no cloture rules on judicial picks, unfortunately. That means that they're going to cram through judges and stuff. But anyway, but the tables are turned now. They all have the 51 seat majority. Unless something changes in the next 7 days, anything's possible. You can hope, but I'll know it when I see it. Here we go. We'll have some fun. The rules after finding out girls menstruate instead of women menstruate. Yes. Remember, Nancy Pelosi gave us this. This is what's so important. They did this, changing gender specific rules and impeachment of the president for a second time. That's Nancy Pelosi's legacy in 2021 so far. Thank you, Nancy. You feckless. I can't call her feckless. She kind of, she's good at what she does. She's a tyrant, and she runs that party like a tyrant, and she has everybody following in line. There's no chance in hell Joe Manchin will be recalled. It's not going to happen. Actually, I don't even know if you can recall a senator. I don't know. I don't know what the rules are for that. But either way, it's not going to happen. Joe Manchin's there to stay. It's just not going to happen. So once again, let's focus on the things we can actually achieve. And right now, we got to change stuff at the state level because the state is the only barrier we have to the federal government's tyrannical rule. So we got to reclaim our states. Right now, we have 30 state legislatures. By the end of this 2 years, let's make it 35. And then in 2 years, we got to retake the House of Representatives and or the Senate. I don't care, one or the other, but both, whatever it'll take. Uh-oh, someone just sent me a funny meme. Let's see what it is. Oh my goodness. I've got to save this photo, and I'm going to do a little bit of quick editing so I can save this to my photos. And I'm going to share this with you guys because it's absolutely hilarious. Okay. Because of course our economy is going to turn to crap, and we're going to need to live in communes. This is from my friend Jacqueline. She's been on my show a few times. Let's go to my. You gotta love I do a live show. I don't script everything. I have stuff on standby, but I always do fly off the cuff. Sorry, guys, it's just my show, and that's how I run it. And it's only 10:45. Usually I'm not done till like midnight this week. So being cute just died. Men are going to want women who can catch a chicken now. Make sure your selfie shows some sort of self-preservation ability. This is our future, guys. This is our future. Oh, man. What a day. What a day. I appreciate you guys watching the show again. Please share with everybody. Like my videos, share my videos, like them on YouTube, please. I know I'm not going to leave social media. Yeah, they're tyrannical, but I hope to change social media. Get their attention that they can't keep doing this. I'm still on Tinder. On Twitter. I keep doing it. I know. Sorry, my Freudian slip. But I'm still on Twitter and stuff like that. We get what they want us to go away into our own area, so then they know where to find us and silence us. So hey Gary, how's it going? I did a fly off the cuff. I can always follow a script. I can't. Maybe it's ADHD. I don't know what it is. I'm just as bad as Donald Trump on a teleprompter. He's off Trump prompter usually in about a minute and a half. I'm off prompter in 30 seconds. I've written many speeches and I haven't finished a one. I just race and I go. So, but anyway, thank you guys. Thank you for joining. And once again, follow me everywhere. I'm even on Parler when it comes back. That's supposed to come back soon. Don't let them take away your rights to free speech. Do not let them take away your rights. And for God's sake, do not go to these protests. Just don't do it. Don't take the bait. They're baiting you guys. They are baiting you guys. I'm telling you, don't do it. It's a false flag. Don't. All right. Peace out. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have an awesome night. Bye.